You lie down, the room goes dark, and the moment your head hits the pillow, your brain turns on. Not slowly, not gently, all at once. You start replaying a conversation from 3 days ago. You rehearse something you have to say tomorrow. You think about money, about time, about that embarrassing moment from 6 years ago that has no bearing on your life right now. And the harder you try to stop, the louder it gets. This is not a malfunction. What is happening to your brain the moment you close your eyes is one of the most fascinating processes in neuroscience. And the reason it happens reveals something strange and important about the way your mind was built. Your brain has two modes. When you are focused on a task, your prefrontal cortex is engaged. Your attention is directed outward. But the moment that task disappears, a different network takes over almost instantly. It is called the default mode network. And it is not rest. It is not silence. It is the opposite of silence. The default mode network was first described in 2001 by neuroscientist Marcus Raichle at Washington University in St. Louis. Raichle noticed something that did not make sense. When subjects were given nothing to do, specific brain regions lit up more than they did during active tasks. Not less, more. The brain was not powering down. It was switching channels. This network simulates. It wanders, it replays the past, imagines the future, rehearses conversations you have not had yet. Researchers believe it evolved to help social animals model other minds and predict how people will behave. It is a survival tool. When you close your eyes and your brain floods with thought, you are experiencing what happens when the one thing keeping this network quiet, the outside world, goes away. Here is where it gets stranger. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker found that as you approach sleep, the prefrontal cortex, your rational thought center, begins to go offline. But the amygdala, the part that generates emotional intensity, stays fully active. This means your brain is running emotional content without its primary editor. Small worries feel enormous, old memories feel sharper. Your brain is not lying to you. It is just presenting information without the usual filters. This is why the thought you have at 11 at night about a failure or a relationship feels so much more devastating than the same thought at noon. And there is one more layer. The moment you try to stop thinking, you make it worse. In 1987, psychologist Daniel Wegner ran a now famous experiment. He told subjects to think about anything they wanted except a white bear. When he later released the instruction, they thought about the white bear more than subjects who had been allowed to think about it freely the whole time. Wegner called this ironic process theory. The mind uses one process to suppress a thought and another to check whether suppression is working. And that monitoring process must hold the very thought you are avoiding in order to know what to look for. Trying not to think about something is, at the cognitive level, a form of thinking about it. So your brain activates a simulation engine the moment stimulation drops. Its emotional filters go offline at exactly the time you are trying to sleep. And the harder you try to suppress the thoughts, the more loudly your brain holds them. This is not a modern problem. Anthropologist David Sampson, studying hunter-gatherer populations across Tanzania and Bolivia, found that people living without screens or electric light also experience a period of mental activity and reflection before sleep. The content differs. The phenomenon is universal. Your brain doing this is not a sign that something has gone wrong. It is a sign your brain is exactly what it was built to be. The answer is not to turn the thinking off. The brain resists being turned off. The answer is to redirect it. Neuroscientists consistently find that giving the default mode network a low-stakes but imaginative task, something that occupies the storytelling machinery without triggering urgency, eases the transition to sleep. Not suppression, redirection. Tonight, when you lie down and the thoughts begin, you are experiencing something that has been happening since long before there were words for it. Your brain is not keeping you awake. It is doing exactly what it was built to do in the dark. It always has been.